Hello everybody, as you know that we are doing the revision of chapter 1 and half of the chapter or most probably we have done in my previous video. Now I want to explain the remaining topics of this chapter. So what is sublimation? What is sublimation I have already told you, but let us revise it. Actually a change of state directly from solid to gas and vice versa is known as sublimation. Have you seen that camphor? That is also sublime. Sublimes are those substance which undergoes sublimation process. Okay. And another example is anthracene. Then have you seen naphthalene balls? That is also sublime. Okay. Ammonium chloride, that is also sublime. So it undergoes sublimation process. Okay. And another solid carbon dioxide gas, that is also sublime. Okay. So these are the sublimes which undergoes under the sublimation process. So let us write the definition of sublimation. A state or change of state, you can write a change of state directly from solid to gas without changing into liquid. You can write that line also, without changing into liquid state and vice versa. Is called sublimation. Okay. An example of sublimation, for example, NH4Cl, that is ammonium chloride, anthracene, naphthalene balls, or you can write naphthalene, camphor, and solid carbon dioxide gas, solid carbon dioxide, that is also sublimation. This undergoes, that substance undergoes in the sublimation process. And some other examples are also there that I have told you. Okay. What are these? Anthracene, naphthalene, camphor, solid carbon dioxide, ammonium chloride, that is NH4Cl. And iodine vapors also. Iodine is directly changes, that solid iodine changes into the vapor form. Okay. So you can take the iodine. Now, do you know what is evaporation? You can write that evaporation is the phenomena in which the liquid changes into vapors below its boiling point at any temperature. Evaporation takes place at any temperature, but the boiling takes place at fixed temperature. Okay. So you can write the difference between evaporation and boiling. Got it? And you will describe it or comparison or do the comparison between the evaporation and boiling. Evaporation is actually, it is an surface phenomena, but boiling is an bulk phenomena. Bulk phenomena means whole water will be boiled and its temperature is fixed at least 100 degrees temperature. But that evaporation is taking place at any temperature. So it will be like that. It takes place at not a fixed temperature, it takes place at any temperature. So let us start the definition of evaporation. What is evaporation? So let us write the definition. the phenomena of change of a liquid into vapors at any temperature below its boiling point. Below its boiling point is called evaporation. Now some factors which affect the evaporation are surface area, wind speed, then humidity. Okay, so you can write that. I have explained you that how it will be affect, how the surface area will be affect. For example, if the surface area is more, the evaporation is more. For example, what we will take, if we will spread the clothes, then they will dry up easily. But if we will fold them, and after that folding we will just hang over the string, what happen? They will take time to dry up. Okay, it means if the surface area is more, then the evaporation is more. Okay, so you can write that also, factors affecting evaporation. So write these factors which affect evaporation. Factors affecting evaporation. What are the factors? Temperature. Temperature is the factor. If the temperature is more, then evaporation is more. It means evaporation directly proportional to temperature. So you can write here, evaporation directly proportional to temperature. Okay. It means if the temperature is high, the evaporation is also more. Okay. Temperature is low, evaporation becomes less. Okay. So it will depend on the temperature. Evaporation depend on the temperature. Second, surface area. Surface area means the evaporation is directly proportional to the surface area also. If the surface area is more, the evaporation is more. If surface area is less, then evaporation is less. Okay. So you can take that, you can write in bracket, evaporation directly proportional to surface area. Next factor is humidity. That is, humidity is inversely proportional to the evaporation. It means if the humidity is more, then evaporation becomes less. Okay. And if the humidity is less, then evaporation becomes more. Okay. So next, third point is humidity. Humidity is inversely proportional. So you can write evaporation is inversely proportional to the humidity. Evaporation is inversely proportional to the humidity. It means if the humidity is more in the atmosphere, then what's happened? Evaporation becomes less. If the humidity is less, then what's happened? Evaporation becomes more. Okay. Now wind speed. What's happened? Evaporation is directly proportional to the wind speed. If wind is more, then evaporation becomes more. Have you seen during the time of rainy season what your mama is doing? Mama will spreading what she is doing. She will that during the rainy season what's happened? The clothes becomes wet and the sunshine is less there and more of humidity is present in that atmosphere. Then what's happened? She spread the clothes under the fan So they will dry up easily. Why? Because of the wind. And during the windy days also that clothes becomes dry easily. Okay. So it will increase the, you can write the evaporation is directly proportional to the wind speed. Wind speed. Now last you can take that evaporation is directly, or you can set it depends on the, that evaporation will be like that if we will take the carbon compounds will that another boiling point. So it will depend on the nature of the substance. Evaporation depend on the nature of the substance. You can write nature of the substance. Okay. So those substance which has less boiling point, okay, they will evaporate first, and those which have more boiling point, then they will take time. Okay. So like that also that evaporation depends on these factors. Now next we can take the another topic, latent heat. Latent heat, you know that what is latent heat? Latent heat is an hidden heat which will use to break the bonds between them or break the force of attraction between the substance, or this heat is used to change the state of matter. Okay. So you can write the definition of latent heat of fusion and latent heat of vaporization. Okay. So latent heat means hidden heat. You can write here hidden heat. Okay. And latent heat is of two types, latent heat of fusion and latent heat of vaporization. So you can write latent heat of fusion. Fusion or melting are same. The process in which the substance starts melt, that is fusion, that is also known as melting. And latent heat of vaporization. What is latent heat of fusion? Actually the amount of heat which is required to change 1 kg of solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point is called latent heat of fusion. And latent heat of vaporization, what is that? The heat energy that is required to change 1 kg of liquid into vapors at the atmospheric pressure at its boiling point. Okay. So that is known as latent heat of vaporization. So let's write the definition. Latent heat of fusion, latent heat of fusion, the heat energy that is required to change 1 kg of solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point. Okay. Is known as, is known as, you can write anything, latent heat of fusion. As it is, you can write the another definition, another point, the latent heat of vaporization. Okay. So let us write the latent heat of vaporization. latent heat of vaporization. Vaporization. Latent heat of vaporization, the heat energy that is required to change, or you can write the amount of energy, the amount of heat energy, you can write like that also. You can write the amount of heat energy that is required to change 1 kg liquid. The same definition you can write here also. The amount of heat energy that is required to change 1 kg of solid into liquid at atmospheric pressure at its melting point is known as latent heat of fusion. Here the amount of heat energy that is required to change 1 kg of liquid into vapors or gas, into vapors most probably, vapors at atmospheric pressure, okay, at its boiling point is known as latent heat of vaporization, vaporization. Okay. So you can learn this definition, and you know that latent heat of vaporization, which substance is more, the boiling water or steam? So steam has more latent heat of vaporization. Why? Because it takes more heat as compared to the boiling water, and that's why it will causes the severe burns also. Okay. So this is the main topic, and what is the another topic that we will take? We can take the another topic, remaining topic, that is deposition also. In your book the deposition is given. What is deposition? Actually the deposition is the process or a change of state that in which that gas is directly changes into the solid phase or solid state, okay, without change into the liquid. So that is known as deposition. So you can write the deposition also. What is deposition? A change of state, you can write a change of state directly from gas to solid without changing into liquid. Is called deposition. Okay. What is boiling point and what is melting point? So you can write boiling point and melting point. The temperature at which the substance starts boiling, at atmospheric pressure. at its atmospheric, at you can write at its atmospheric pressure. The temperature at which the substance starts boiling at atmospheric pressure is called boiling point. Is called boiling point. You know the boiling point of water is 100 degree. So boiling point of, for example, you can write the example, boiling point of water is 100 degree Celsius. Okay, and another substance have different boiling points. So every time the boiling points are fixed, but that evaporation will not be fixed, that will not taking place at any temperature, but boiling takes place at the fixed point. Next is melting point. Melting point, the temperature at which the substance starts melt, at which the substance starts melt, substance starts melt. Or substance starts melting, you can write also, is called melting point. The melting point of ice is 0 degree Celsius. For example, melting point of ice is 0 degree Celsius. Okay. So what's happened if we will put something like acetone on our hand or palm, so what's happened, we feel very cool. Why we are feeling the cool? Actually what's happened, when the substance evaporates, then it will cause a cooling effect. Why? Because it will use the heat from that specific area or surrounding and it causes cooling effect. Have you seen during the summer days what we will do and what our parents will do? They will just spread the water around our ground or around our lobby. Why? Because we feel cool during that time. Why? Because when the evaporation is taking place, it will use the heat of that surrounding and it will be reduces cooling effect. Have you seen that our pot, earthen pot contains water, that is also very cool? Why? Why it will be cool? Actually the pot contains the very small pores. Okay, pores are present in that earthen pot. So the heat that is present inside the water and surrounding, that is used in the form of, that is used by that evaporation and that heat is used. Then what's happened? What is remaining inside the pot? It's cool water. So next topic is evaporation causes cooling effect. How it causes cooling effect? So how the evaporation causes cooling effect? I have told you. Why? The particles of liquid, they will absorb energy from the surroundings. So let us start, how does evaporation causes cooling effect? Actually the energy, heat energy which is present in the surrounding, that is absorbed by the liquid particles and they will use into the evaporation process. Means the liquid particles absorb energy from the surroundings and they will evaporate. So in this way the surrounding becomes cool. Okay. So let us start it. Evaporation causes cooling effect. The particles of liquid absorb energy from the surrounding to regain the energy lost during the evaporation, and this absorption of energy from the surroundings, it causes cooling effect. So let us write that from the surroundings makes the surrounding cool. You can write here make the surrounding cold. Make the surrounding cold. That's why the water which we will keep under the earthen pot, it will becomes cool. And during the summer days, what we will do? We will spread the water. After some time, we feel cool. During the hot and very dry day, then what's happened? The cooler provide us the cool air. Okay, so these all are because of the evaporation causes cooling effect. If we will keep some acetone on our palm, then it will be evaporate and we feel cool at that time. Petrol also, if you will put petrol on our palm, then we feel cooling effect. Why? It will use the energy from our palm and it will be evaporate. So we feel cool at that time. Okay. During the time of summer, we are wearing the light clothes, light colored clothes. Why? Or cotton clothes. The cotton clothes absorb the perspiration, and what they will do? That perspiration will be use the heat energy from our body and it will evaporate and we feel cool and comfortable. Okay. So these are the examples that evaporation causes cooling effect. And another if we will keep the water tumbler, or we can keep one beaker, any beaker that consists the cold water, we will see that from outside of the tumbler, wall of the tumbler will be covered with the drops of water. From where these drops of water will come? Actually, what's happened during that time, the tumbler's wall becomes very cold. Okay, and the air which contains the vapors are present in air. So vapors will be collide with the cool wall of the container, and they will lose energy and change into the liquid. The gas will change into the vapor will change into the liquid part. So this is because the water tumbler or that tumbler contains the cold water, the drops of water over there. Okay. So these are the points that you can remember, and I think interconversion state will be remaining. So you can write interconversion of the three states of matter, interconversion of three states of matter. What are these three states? Three states are solid, liquid and gas. So first you will write solid, then liquid, and here gas. You can write here gas. Solid to liquid, when any substance will change solid to liquid, then what's happened? How it will be changed from solid to liquid? So if it will change solid to liquid, then melting is taking place or fusion is taking place. So you can write melting, or you can write fusion. Solid changes into the liquid by fusion process or by melting process. If it will be interconverted into the solid, liquid changes into the solid, then what's happened? It will be solidification. So process is solidification. You can write solidification. The liquid changes into gas. By which process? Liquid changes into gas by the evaporation process. Okay. And the gas changes into the liquid. Which process is taking place? Condensation. So you can write condensation. Got it? If the solid will changes into the gas, then which process will be there? I have told you, that is sublimation. The solid changes into gas. Okay, so you can write solid changes into gas, by sublimation, and the gas changes into solid by the deposition process. That I have told you, that is the deposition process. Now, I want to explain the two more states of matter that are plasma and BEC, that is Bose-Einstein condensate. Okay. So, these are the two more forms of states. Okay. Now, first, what is plasma? Actually, plasma considered as an fourth state of matter, and it is an ionized gas. When we will pass the electricity through the fluorescent tube and neon sign bulbs, then what will happen? They start glow. Why they are glowing? Because of the formation of plasma by passing electricity into it. Okay. So, the stars, have you seen, these are also glowing. These are because of the plasma. The plasma is glowing over there. Why? How the plasma is created in them? Actually, the plasma is created by very high temperature into them. So, stars and some, that sun, that is also glowing because of the presence of plasma. And plasma, mainly it is an ionized gas. The gas is ionized by the electricity, by passing electricity through the neon bulbs and fluorescent tube. Okay. And these naturally plasma is present in the stars and sun. So, let us start. What is plasma? Plasma is considered as the fourth state of matter. It consists of mixture of free electrons and ions. That is why it is an ionized. So, these particles are found in ionized gases, and in the fluorescent tube and neon bulbs, the gases get ionized on passing electricity and forms plasma. This glowing plasma causes the fluorescent tube and neon bulb signs to glow. Okay. And the sun and the other stars glow because of the presence of the plasma in them. That I have told you. Now, the plasma created in stars because of very high temperature. Because of that only they starts glowing, and the plasma is formed into them. Okay. Now, last state is BEC, that is Bose-Einstein condensate. How it is formed? Actually, BEC is formed by cooling the gas of, and the gas of the density is very low, means the cooling of gas of the density of normal air to the super low temperature. Okay. The BEC is formed by cooling a gas of extremely low density. Its density is very low. Okay. So, it will be formed by cooling a gas of extremely low density, about 100,000 the density of the air. Its density is very low, it is about 100,000 density of the normal air to super low temperature, and BEC formed by it. Means what we will do? BEC formed by cooling the air. That air has very low density. Okay. And the density is lower than the normal air. How much lower? It is lower than the 100,000. Okay. Than the density of the normal air, and it will be cooled to super low temperature. Got it? And it will be changed into the BEC. So, BEC is the fifth state of matter. BEC means Bose-Einstein condensate. So, you will remember that. Next state BEC, that is Bose-Einstein condensate. Okay. Bose-Einstein condensate. So, it is formed by cooling the, or let me write that also. BEC, how the BEC is formed, and At last, I want to explain the effect of pressure, how the pressure is affected. You know, if we will increase the pressure on the gas, then what will happen? The gas will be converted in the liquid form. Okay, so by applying the pressure and lower the temperature, reduce the temperature, the gas will changes into the liquid form. That's why LPG is the liquefied petroleum gas. Okay, compressed natural gas, that is also compressed. It means when we will apply the pressure, then what's happened? The molecules will be closed together. They will be moving closed. Okay, so they are moving closely. Now next fifth state is BEC. That is, I have written here Bose-Einstein condensate. So how it is formed? You can write that BEC is formed. The BEC is formed by cooling the gas. You can write the BEC is formed by cooling the gas of extremely low density, gas of extremely low density. How much low density? Extremely low means it's very low density, about 100,000, about 100,000 of the normal air. Okay, so we'll compare from the normal air. Okay, so about 100,000 of the density, thousandth of the density of normal air. Okay, of normal air at very super low temperature. Okay, so you can write to super low temperature, to super normal air to super low temperatures, normal air to super low temperatures. Then BEC is formed, and because of these BEC, some scientist has got the Nobel Prize also. Okay? Now these scientists are there who has participated, mainly physicist that Satyendranath Bose. That's why the name is Bose-Einstein. And Einstein is also calculated this gas. Okay, he helped to calculate that matter also. So Bose-Einstein condensate. In 2001, Eric A. Cornell, Wolfgang and Carl E. Wehrmann of USA, they received Nobel Prizes. Okay, so they got the Nobel Prizes because of this BEC. Now last I want to explain that change of pressure. I have already told you, if we will just reduce the pressure, then it will be like CO2, solid CO2. Okay, and solid CO2 is directly changes into the gas. So solid carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide gas is changed. Okay, so that gas is changed by lowering the pressure. The gas is changed into the solid CO2 by the pressure, by increasing the pressure, and solid CO2 will be changed into the CO2 gas by lowering or reducing the pressure. And you know that the gas will be changed into the liquid form. And how we can liquefy the gases? So we can liquefy the gases by increasing the pressure and decreasing the temperature. because they will be compressed and the gases have more space between them. So, they have lot of space between them. So, they will be compressed by providing high pressure and lowering the temperature. Okay. So, please revise this chapter first, matter around us, and if you have any problem regarding any topic, then you can write your doubts. We can discuss in our doubt session class. Okay. So, all the best for your exams. Thank you and have a nice day.